SC kids. How are we doing today? Well, I've just been hanging out, reading some books this morning. Do you guys like books? I loved hearing all of your answers. I have so many of the same favorites. And as I've been sitting here, I got to thinking, have you ever thought about how our lives are kind of like a story? Think about it. Think of all the different parts of the story. There's characters, you and everyone you know. There's a setting, all the places you go, where you live, where you go to school, where you play. And you have a plot. All the things that happened to you. The day your sister came home. The day you got gerbils. The day you had your first ever peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And the day your mom brought home 50 rolls of toilet paper from the grocery. Yes! All of these things make up your life story that if you wrote them all down, you could kind of read them like a book. Interesting to think about, right? And every day would be a new page. How crazy to think that our lives are kind of like a big story. Well, do you remember whose story we've been learning about? We've been learning about King David, and in today's video, God tells David his life story, almost like he read it like a book. But do you know what, guys? God not only does that, but he blows David's mind when he shows David that, guess what? Your story, it has no end. There is no final page that says the end. It goes on forever and ever and ever and ever. What? Can you talk about the best bedtime story ever? Because that means you would never have to go to sleep if you read it. David's story has no ending. It is everlasting. That is what we're going to see in our story today. Can you imagine? Do you know why that is, that there's no final page? Well, I'm not going to tell you yet. We'll talk about it later because it's game time. Okay, so we talked about how David's story is one that lasts forever. For our game today, we're gonna have 3 different challenges to see how long you can last. And this week, it's not gonna be boys against girls. This week, it is you against all the people in your family, okay? So, get everybody together, see who can last the longest doing these challenges. But if your family is still asleep or they're not around right now, you can challenge me, okay? All right, here's our first one. Okay, challenge number 1 is who in your family can last the longest doing arm circles. Ready? Stand up, get your arms out, and go. Faster, 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 faster. Come on. Pretend you're a bird, flap those wings. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Woo! My shoulders are hurting. How you guys doing? Anybody drop out yet in your home? Woo! I'm getting close. Move them faster, don't cheat. Faster, 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 faster. Oh, I'm sweating. Okay, I think, I'm done. Did you guys beat me? Who won in your house? Let me know. Let me know. All right, challenge number 2 is the old classic staring contest. Who can look the longest at each other without blinking? So, find a partner, or you can do it against me, okay? All right, get your eyes ready. Blink, 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 blink. Get all your blinks out. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, I already did it! That was so short. Did you guys beat me? All right, I'm gonna hang out. You guys are probably going longer than me. All right, let me know. Are your eyes watering? Are your eyes watering? All right, let me know who wins. Okay, this one is who can keep their tongue out the longest while dancing. Let's go. Is it time for that? Yeah? Alright, sing along! Sing along for fun! Are you guys' tongues still out? You did that crazy, good job. Okay, we've got a bonus challenge. Let's see if you guys can do this. For our last challenge, we are going to see who can last the longest doing a handstand, all right? Let's go. In 3, 2, 1. Woo! You guys upside down? How's it going? All right. Oh, blood is rushing to my head. Oh no, so is my breakfast. Don't throw up any Fruit Loops, you guys. Although that might look kind of cool. All right. Oh, I'm losing it. Oh. Good job.
God chose David to be the next king of Israel. King Saul had died, and God gave his people a time of peace. David lived in a beautiful palace in the city of Jerusalem. One day, David was talking with Nathan the prophet. David said, "I live in a palace of nice cedar wood, but the ark of God sits inside a tent. It hardly seemed fair. Shouldn't God have a nicer house than I do?" David wanted to build a temple for the ark of God. Nathan said, "God is with you, do what you want." But God did not want David to do whatever he wanted. God wanted David to do what God wanted. That night, God gave Nathan a message for David. This is what God told Nathan to say. "David, are you going to build a house for me to live in? I brought my people out of Egypt. I gave them leaders to guide them. The entire time I have been with them, my house has been a tent. Did I ever ask anyone to build a temple for me? You used to be a shepherd, David, but I made you king. I helped you defeat your enemies, and my people now live peacefully in their own land. I promise you, David, that you and your descendants will be kings. When you die, one of your sons will be king. He will be a strong king, and no one will be able to take his kingdom away from him. He will build a house for me. I will love him, and I will never leave him. When your son dies, his son will be king. Someone in your family will be king forever." Nathan told David everything God said. David went into the tent he had set up for the ark of the Lord. He sat down and prayed. "God, I don't deserve anything you have done for me, and you promised to do so much more. You are so great. There is no one like you. You chose the Israelites to be your own people. You rescued them from slavery in Egypt. God, please keep your promises. I know your words are always true." God promised David that every future king of Israel would come from David's family, and David's kingdom would last forever. God kept his promise by sending his son, Jesus, as one of David's descendants. Jesus is our king who will rule over God's people forever.
So David heard from God that his story would last forever. Not because David would live to be a billion, cajillion, million years old. No, but because David's story was actually just a small part of God's really, really big story that is all about Jesus. God told David that from his family, many years later, someday Jesus would be born. And Jesus would not just be king of Israel like David, but he would be king of the whole world, and that his kingdom would last forever and ever and ever, even till today. David's life story. Though it was a pretty cool story, right? He defeated a giant, he became king, but David's story actually wasn't about David. David's story was just a small part of the everlasting story of God. And when David discovered this, he had such awe and such thankfulness in his heart to God. It blew his mind. And are you guys ready for me to blow your mind? Okay. Put your hands on your head to keep your brain inside, okay? And that is because just like David's story was a small part of the really, really big, never-ending story of God, so is yours. Yes, Rogan Kramer, your life story is a small part of the really, really big, never-ending story of God. Jaina, your life is a small part of the really, 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 really big, never-ending story of God. Claire, your life is a small part of the really, really big, never-ending story of God. And Aiden, your life is say it with me, a small part of the really, really, really big, never-ending story of God. Every single one of you guys, if you have a friendship with Jesus, are a part of the really, really big, never-ending story of God. The characters in your life, your friends, your mom, your neighbors, the places that you go, the setting, church, school, the grocery, your friend's house, and the plot of your life story, the things that happen. God is all working for your good in his glory as a part of his story. And just like David's story, as cool as it wasn't really about him. Your life story is all about Jesus, you guys. How incredible is that? That the life you're living is like a story where you get to know Jesus and make him known. A story that is a small part of the really, really, really big story of God that never, ever, 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 ever ends. And like David, we can remember that and respond with an awe and with a thankfulness every single day that our lives and our stories matter so, so, so much.
Check it out now, to God be the glory. Check it out now, to God be the glory. Check it out now, to God be the glory. Check it out now, to God be the glory.
To God be the glory, great things he has done. So loved he the world that he gave us his son, who yielded his life and atonement for sin,
For you.
and opened the life gate that all may go in.
Check it out now, to God be the glory.
Thank you guys so much for joining us this morning. And this week, we've got homework for your parents, okay? Parents, pick a night this week, whether at dinner, at bedtime, in the car, to share your story with your kids. It is a powerful way to make Jesus known, to hear your story as a small part of the really, really big, never-ending story of God that is all about Jesus. Okay? So take one night, share part of your life story with your kids. Do not leave out the embarrassing stuff, right? We want to hear it, okay? Let us know how it goes. It would be awesome to hear some feedback about those conversations, okay? So pick a night this week, make it happen, share some stories, and then join us next Sunday. We'll see you guys later. Bye.